Okay, so I'm going to show you how I go through the process of finding an article and finding information for my research. Okay, so I'm on the PMC, my PMC website. I'm going to go to the library website here, Annenberg Library. Um, and I can do this thing right here called OneSearch, where I can just search for anything. It searches all of the books, all the articles, all the journals, all the magazines, all the newspapers. It searches everything. But for our research, searching newspapers, we might find news, but we're looking for basic general information about an issue in our country. So we don't want to look for a specific news story unless it really shows the issue. It's better to look for general information. So articles and books are probably more useful, right? So we're going to go down. We're going to click on this thing here called Research Guides. A research guide is just a collection of useful resources for a particular assignment. So the librarian here has created many resource guides for each class. So this class is education. So for example, this resource guide would have things, books and maybe articles that are related to education. Our class, FYS, our project is about analyzing an issue in different countries. So the librarian has created this research guide. I just clicked on it with useful resources for our specific assignment. So there's a little description here, finding books, finding articles. We're going to click on finding articles. Books are long, right? Maybe we don't have time to read a whole book, but articles can sometimes be shorter and they can help us find useful information. So let's click on finding articles. Okay, we have here library databases here, and we have internet resources here, okay? So the CIA World Factbook, we looked at that in class, and this has many facts, basic facts of countries around the world, like population, religion, demographics, languages, things like that. Okay, these World Health Organization, right, if you're doing health issues, that might be useful. Human Rights Watch, if you're doing something related to human rights, that might be a useful thing. Okay, but this is a very good general one right here. Global Issues in Context. So let's try that out. Okay, so let's say, for example, my topic is discrimination. My issue is discrimination. And my two countries that I chose are Japan and the United States, for example, right? So let's type in discrimination in Japan. Let's do Japan first, okay? Discrimination in Japan. Oops. Search. Okay, so we have some results here. This looks like it's about tourism in Japan. Wait a minute, that's not related. This is hydrogen technologies. That's not related. This is what? What is all this? I don't see anything about discrimination here. So what is up with this? What's going on here? So that's why advanced searches are necessary in almost all research searches that you do in college. Okay, so this is looking for every single article that has the word discrimination or the word in or the word Japan, or maybe all three. But let's do an advanced search. Okay, keyword, that's not good. That's very general. Let's search in the title of the document. Okay, because if the document has the word Japan and discrimination in the title, then it's probably related to discrimination in Japan, which is our topic. And let's search, okay? There we go. Now we only have 2 articles. So do you see how much that narrowed it down? News articles, okay? This one, Japan says no discrimination in autos, okay? Autos means cars, so that must be an article about discrimination in cars, but that's not really what we're looking for. Let's look at this one. Job discrimination is up, say Japanese women. So Japanese women say that job discrimination is up. That sounds like something related to discrimination. So let's click on that. And we have this article, okay? It was written in 1994, so a little bit old, but maybe it'll have some good information, right? Okay. Now, this article, it's actually very short. Sometimes if you have a long article, the first paragraph might actually just give you a little summary, and you can just use that first paragraph. Or if there's an abstract, that's kind of like a summary at the beginning. So I'm going to read this paragraph, see if there's any information here that could be useful for my research. It looks like definitely there are, right? Once male-dominated university courses, and it's talking about university, right? We are studying the same courses as men, but where are the jobs? So let's look for facts. We want to look for specific facts we could put in our paper. So this one looks pretty good. Okay. 1993, women were 7.7% of engineering students, and that was double in the 1980s. So more women became engineers in Japan. Okay, so here's another one. This is a quote from Tomichi Murayama, the Prime Minister. He said, "To build a society with equal participation by men and women, it's indispensable to create an environment that allows women to display their abilities." So you can see the Prime Minister of Japan at that time was calling for equality for women, right? But if we look down here, right, we can see something here. 1,000 companies said that more than half of the firms were cutting back on their hiring of women. So this is, right, remember this is 1994. So this is a survey by the Ministry of Labor in Japan, said that 1,000 companies, more than half, were cutting back on women so that they would not have to trim their male graduate intake, so they don't have to reduce the number of men. Okay, so anyway, we have some pretty good information here we can probably use in our research, right? So that's one article. Now, to cite this article, it's very easy, right? Are we going to do MLA, APA, or Chicago? For this class, MLA. I click on MLA, and here it is, right? There's our citation. We can just put that on our works cited page. We can also put this article in our Google Drive. In our OneDrive, we can do this. We want to save every article that we read, okay? So where did this article come from? It came from Global Issues. But Global Issues is just a collection of articles. This article actually came from here, upi.com. So if we want to see more, we can go to that website. So this is how research works, right? You need to really think about what kind of information do you need and what would be the best way to find that information. And when you find some information, you want to think, is this useful to me or not? And not all of it's going to be useful. So then you want to pick out a few sentences and a few facts for your article that support your topic. And your topic is an issue in 2 different countries and how it's different, right? So that's a basic process of how we kind of do research.